Hello everyone, welcome. I'm Robert, and today I want to discuss why I'm getting rid of Marvel Legendary. Like a lot of other solo board gamers, I started during the pandemic, the hobby during the pandemic, so not that long ago. I know that this product line has been around for a while, but this does keep popping up year to year in the People's Choice Top 200 solo games. It took me until a couple of years after I started the hobby last year until I finally tried this. All right, I had already played many other deck builder solos since. With that experience, I finally decided to try this, and I have to say that to date, this is my biggest disappointment uh, when it comes to the solo board gaming hobby. Typically, my approach is I don't mind letting my collection, grow maybe a bit more than it should at a faster rate that I allow it to. Um, because what has happened in general is um, I have purchased games that maybe I already had games in my collection that filled that role. But I've allowed myself to purchase games, in this case, a deck builder, right? I've purchased many games that where I already have that genre in my collection, but many times I'm pleasantly surprised. So more often than not, I'll buy a game that maybe I could have skipped, but I end up being really glad that I tried it. But Marvel Legendary felt fell absolutely flat for me. I do remember before I started this hobby when this game, around the time that it first came out, around 2013, I do remember playing it at somebody's house and enjoying it. And I'm sure that at the time it was pretty fresh and popular, but by today's standard, this design just feels a bit dated, and I honestly don't know why this keeps popping up within the top 100 games in the 200 top 200 people solo list. I honestly feel that this has no business showing up anywhere near a ranking, anywhere near that high in that list. There's so many much better solo deck builders. And what I'm going to recommend to you, if this attracts your attention, the legendary system, my first recommendation would be Apex Therapod. Apex Therapod borrows heavily from the legendary system and turns it into a much more satisfying solo focused experience. To me, what happened with Legendary is that at its heart, it's a multiplayer game, and whoever scores highest at the end wins. There is a cooperative element, but um, it's kind of at odds with itself, where the player that is supposed to score highest wins. So the cooperative element isn't that strong. And I tried many things. I tried two-handed, one-handed. I added expansion material. I added, like Dark City and a couple others to see if I could make it more difficult. I tried Golden Solo, Advanced Rules, nothing. There was no tension in this game. I didn't feel like I would lose at any point. The um, the purchasing, like the market road, doesn't like the decisions don't feel meaningful in any way to me. Um, just this just felt absolutely flat. Nothing I tried to make this work did. If there's one thing that this game taught me, is that I should not I should not go all out with a system that I'm not familiar with. Like I did with this, because it's not that I just bought the base game. I bought Dark City, an insert, sleeves, and everything. Like I went all out because I really thought that I would love it based on its popularity, and I was sorely mistaken. And I'm not gonna pretend that that might not happen again. If I see a product that I have a pretty good reason to believe I'll like it, I might still go all out. But in general, these days, I'm a lot more cautious. I'm a lot more conservative when I get into a new game system. I try to stick with the base game before I go and buy expansions. And this was one big example where I really should have approached it that way. Really regretted this purchase. One of the biggest, again, the biggest disappointment in the hobby. I've had games that, that are not for me, and I'm like, okay, I can see why people like it. To me, I don't know why you would play this over so many other better deck builders. I already mentioned Apex Theropod. There's also the Alien Legendary. Go with that. I still need to dive deep into that game. I only played it a couple times solo, two-handed, but just from those couple plays, I got a much better impression. It did a lot more with this system, much more interesting. So go with that. There's also a new Matrix game coming out soon with the Legendary system. I saw it at Gen Con last year. Didn't get a chance to play it. I wish I did, just couldn't make it work. But I'm excited for that, and I'll see how that turns out. I'll wait for their reviews and probably check that out. I just like the Matrix as a franchise, and from what I saw, it looks pretty cool. How they were gonna implement the Matrix into that system. That's Legendary, and I'm gonna let go of this soon. I finally found a home for it, and it was just it's just a big heavy box that was occupying space in my shelves. So finally happy that I found a home for it. If I were you, if you're mainly a solo board gamer, I strongly suggest you stay away from this. To me, this is just not a super satisfying or experience in any way. There's if you want a light deck builder, just get Shards of Infinity or Star Realms. Okay, I think that if you want a very lightweight deck builder, those offer much better experiences. If that's why you would look into something like this, again, the cooperative aspect of it and scoring point aspect of it, it just kind of is at odds with itself here, and there's no tension in this, like no meaningful decisions. Just fell flat to me. I can see this being fun multiplayer, just in my opinion, avoid it for solo. If you enjoy it, good for you. I hope you keep enjoying it, but yeah, definitely not for me. But that's a Marvel Legendary, and why I'm letting go of it. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any comments, questions, feedback, please put those in the comment section. And if you enjoy this content, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.